Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Eli. So today I'll be going over the keyword research process for e-commerce brands. And this is usually the first step into building a solid SEO roadmap. Now, I'm going to be going over the steps that I have listed in the document. I'll explain the logic behind them, and then I will show you guys a real life example on how to apply this process accurately. So yeah, let's get started. The holistic approach to keyword research should aim to find scalable transactional keyword combinations. While scalping competitor keywords or manually searching on Ahrefs can be useful in certain cases, it shouldn't be your starting point. So that's one big problem that I see everybody doing. Let's say you have a sunglasses store, you would go up here, type sunglasses, find out who's your competitor. Let's say Diff Eyewear, click on them, take their domain name, and then see what keywords they're ranking for with Ahrefs, right? Or SEMrush. Let me just log in real quick. And then let's say you put it up here, search for it, go into their organic keywords, and then you would manually go over each keyword they are ranking for and look into their pages and see what do they have in their inventory. Now, this would work, but this is a very, very messy and complicated way to do it, and it would take you ages to go through this method. So yeah, the second way that people usually do is pretty much the newbie way. You would go into the Explorer, type sunglasses here, and then look into the keywords that Ahrefs would suggesting to you. Now, also, this method is extremely valid. The only thing that this would apply in certain cases or certain scenarios. It would apply, but it's super hard for you to actually do it because you will need to go through every single bucket of keywords because Ahrefs groups them based on C keywords and see if you have this in inventory, and then really go into like the vetting process, which takes extremely long. Now, I want to introduce you to my method, which I think is the best way to do it for e-commerce brands, especially the ones that are starting from scratch, that they have no keyword data. And just for the sake of the video, I'll take an example where somebody is starting a store from scratch. Now, what I would do, the first thing I would do is, let's go back here. I would use the top-down approach, which is starting by generating all possible keyword combinations based on the most common variants / filters that are available in your catalog. This will give you a huge list of potential keywords. So for example, let's say sunglasses. Sunglasses have 4 attributes. It has like the type, the shape, the gender, and the brand. And let me go to Amazon and showcase this more easily. Let's go here, type sunglasses, and then take a look at the filter or the navbar here, and you will see that apart from the filters that are business related, I want to see the ones that are niche related. So for example, Amazon has a filter by gender. So sunglasses and then gender, because you can sort out by men, women, unisex, girls, whatever it is. You also have one for color, for shape, for sports type, which is the use case. Why are you using this? Why do you need that? Sunglasses. And then of course the polarization type. Maybe the brand as well. The brand, if you're a general retailer store and you have multiple brands that you're selling on your store, this could be a very important filter that you have. So based on your catalog, what you would do is you would come up here and then list all of the variants that you've seen on Amazon for your seed keyword. And from there, you'd be like, okay, do I have in my catalog sunglasses for men, sunglasses for women? Do I have rectangular shaped sunglasses? Do I have cat eyes? What range of colors do I have in my inventory? And you would list all of the things that you have based on your catalog. Now, once you have these, it's extremely easy to put the keyword list together because all you're doing is really combining the variant with the anchor keyword. So for example, the gender and then the keyword sunglasses, you could pretty much combine them and get the keyword combination, which is men's sunglasses, women's sunglasses, unisex sunglasses. And what's happening here is you're doing it programmatically because all you have to do is just copy this, copy the copy the variants, and then use this AND formula in Sheets, and then you're going to get the combination of keyword. Now you would do that across all of the variants. So anchor with the variant that's shape. Now you got it here, which is going to yield into a keyword combination. And this is the color variant here. Here, actually, we use 2 variants because we can also mix up variants together. So sunglasses, that's the anchor keyword. Variant is for men's, and then the second variant is red. So men's red sunglasses. And what's going to happen is if you're listing everything that you have in your catalog, you're going to end up with way more keywords, way more keyword combination lists, and then you're going to add these into the master list here. What I like to do usually is once I have a master list, I want to make sure that I take this list, copy it up here, put it into the Keyword Explorer, and really validate if these keywords have any search volume or if they are valid keywords to begin with. Let's say I pasted this This is Ahrefs. It will give you all of the data for each keyword. And what you want to do is you want to export this, all 7, for example. Of course, for your own store, you're going to have a lot more because you know what you're putting into the variants. Now, once this is downloaded, you would come up in here and then you would import that stuff. You would import this here and then pretty much clean it up. So let me start again here so you guys can understand the process better. I'll upload the thing here, let's say, append it to the current sheet. And then I would look into the keywords. I don't care about the country. I don't care about the CPC, the CPS, the parent, the last, the SERPs, the volume, all of that stuff. I don't care about it. So I will clean up these columns. I'll clean up those columns and then move them up. Okay, I don't need this thing. Delete. I'm very interested in the KD, the volume, the keyword difficulty, but there's only one metric that is not there yet, which is the SERP authority, the average SERP authority. So before I get into this, I want to go back into the document and kind of explain a bit more what's happening here. We did the list based on matrixing the variants with the anchor keywords. Now, after that, we want to clean up the list, remove useless variations, eliminate low search volume keywords, spot trends, and identify the most search combinations. Now, if you do that, what's happening is you're kind of pretty much like cleaning up the list of keywords that you've got in here. Now, in our case, there's not many keywords, so all of them are valid. So come back here. Let's look into the export and review. Bulk export the keyword data into the spreadsheet. That's what we've done. Manually review the data and ensure quality and relevance. If you see that a keyword doesn't align or doesn't make any sense, just delete it. The big picture, keyword research is just the first step in building a solid roadmap for the next 6 months. It dictates your entire strategy. So this is pretty much the most important step here, because if you have the right set of keywords, you will get results. If you don't, it will derail your entire SEO campaign. So you want to make sure that this is absolutely accurate, what you're putting together here. So yeah, the most common mistakes that when you're doing that you need to look forward to is making sure that you are matching the keywords with the right intent, with the right user intents, which means, let's look into here, for example. So after you have that, you want to make sure that the pages that you're assigning each keyword are matching the user intent. What that means is, let's take men's sunglasses, go to Ahrefs, and then look into what's ranking there in the first 10 results. You'll see that this is a collection, it's a collection, it's a collection. Look, it's another collection, it's another collection. And then based on that, you would know that for you to rank for that keyword, you need a collection page. And that's where you need to line up the type of the page that you want to build. Of course, that's the page action. If you have this page already on the site live, you want to refresh it. If you don't have it, you want to build it. Now, I actually skipped over the SERP authority, and that comes after. That's actually the second point here. Now, misjudging SERP competition. Underestimating competition or failing to properly scope SERP difficulty can derail your campaign. So all of this is good and all, but this is pretty much the most important metric here, the average SERP authority. How do you get it? Is you look at the average DR of the websites that are ranking for this keyword or for this term. So let's go back to men's sunglasses, go into here, go look into the SERPs. You'll see that there is an 81, 76, 68, 71, 96, 84, 87, 63. So you would add up all of these and you would divide it by 10 and you will know the average DR. I would assume this is a 60 to 70 DR at the minimum. So let's say you are a 20 DR, you would know that this keyword is pretty much impossible for you to rank for right now. So what you want to do is you want to add that DR here. You would put 70 here, maybe let's say 60 here. And then from there, you keep it, you assign the page that needs to rank for this, but on the page level, which I'm going to get to in a later stage video, I would take this here, I would put it into the Keyword Explorer, and I will try to find variations that have an easier time ranking for them. So men's sunglasses could be hard for us now to rank for it. Maybe we look into men's designer sunglasses and see if it's easier to rank for based on the SERP authority. So here it looks like it's even harder. So we would keep looking into another variation of the keyword. So designer sunglasses for men is another one. And then we look into here again, and you would see here maybe it's easier. You got a 49, you got a 57. So you start to go through all of the variations of that main keyword and see which one you can actually rank for right now. So yeah, I think this is pretty much it. The overview of everything I'm saying here is that you need to make sure that the keyword list is valid, and you do it not based on your competitors, not based on what Ahrefs suggests, it's based on your inventory. If you have inventory for men, if you have inventory for women, you would do your keyword research based on the inventory or catalog you have. You don't look into other competitors unless you're working on a page by page and you're looking, okay, this competitor is ranking for that variation of the keyword, maybe I should go after this. You don't do it on the first stages of keyword research. This is the roadmap keyword research, which means this is the overview of what's happening on your site from an SEO perspective. But then when it comes to optimizing each page by page, that's where you're digging into the variations of that keyword. So I hope this is clear enough for you guys. This is pretty much the first step of it. Once you match the intent of the keywords properly, and once you make sure that the SERP competition is properly scoped out, usually you can do that with like third-party software like SwiftBrief or Lowfruits, but I like to do it manually, go into each keyword and pretty much like look into the DR so I can get a feel on who's really doing well on the SERPs. That's one. Two, I want to also get a feel on what is the average KD. How am I going to translate this to the client, or how am I going to explain like, hey, for us to actually be a really big contender on search, we need to be at that level of DR or at that level of authority before we can eye the bigger fish. So I think this is enough for now. What I'm going to get into next is the overall roadmap structure, how each part comes together, and then I'm going to go into the on-page SEO briefing. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you have any feedback, please drop it in the comment. I'm going to be replying to this, and of course I'm going to be updating and keeping this document up to date. If you enjoyed it, just give me a like, and thank you very much. See you next time.